Greetings and salutations, dreamers in Dreamland. Welcome to the latest edition of Listen to Me. I'm your host, Dream, and we are fresh off of last night's incredible, unified, lightweight championship of the world boxing match between Teofimo Lopez and Vasyl Lomachenko. And let me say congratulations to Brooklyn's own Teofimo Lopez for his spectacular boxing performance and his excellent victory. Look, at the end of the day, there is an asterisk. There is an asterisk. I'm not here to piss on anyone's parade, but the fact is last night's lightweight boxing unified championship fight was not undisputed. No, it was not. Okay? The WBC Diamond Championship, Franchise Championship, the WBC Franchise Championship French Fry title, that was on the line. The WBO title was on the line. The WBA title was on the line. The IBF title was on the line. The Ring Magazine title was on the line. The WBC World title at 135 was not on the line. That title is held by Devin Haney. The asterisk, if you will. So if Teofimo Lopez wants to truly become the undisputed champion, the undisputed lightweight boxing champion of the world, he's got to defeat Devin Haney, and he's got to do it at 135 pounds before he moves to 140. Look, both of those guys are moving to 140 pounds. It's happening. But the fact is this. The reason Vasyl Lomachenko had the franchise title and not the WBC world title at 135 pounds is because Bob Arum was being cheap. Vasyl Lomachenko became the WBC lightweight champion in the ring. But then Bob Arum didn't want to get in a bidding war over a fight with Devin Haney, who became the mandatory challenger. He didn't want to get in a bidding war. So he took the cheap way, and he and Lomachenko's people together petitioned the WBC for this franchise status so they wouldn't have any mandatories, and so therefore Bob wouldn't have to come out of pocket and pay for a fight with Lomachenko and Haney, because he wouldn't want to let Loma go over there to the zone. Eddie Hearn's got deep pockets. It would have been a bidding war, and Eddie Hearn would have put the money on the table to put Lomachenko on the zone. That's what Eddie Hearn wanted to do. To take a top P for P guy, a world superstar in boxing like Lomachenko, a two-time Olympic gold medalist, and take him, which is one of TopRank's best guys. He wanted to take him on his platform and showcase him there and pick up some extra subscriptions and pick up some extra views. Bob Arum wasn't crazy about that, and he didn't want to get in a bidding war, so they took the cheap way out, and therefore Vasyl Lomachenko was granted franchise status. And that took away the true undisputed nature of this fight. That happened via emails from Devin Haney. No matter how you slice it. Emails between Bob Arum, Lomachenko's people in the WBC, followed by emails with Devin Haney's emails to the WBC. Made Devin Haney the WBC lightweight boxing champion of the world. Not the franchise, not the diamond, not the French fry, not the intercontinental. No. Devin Haney is the WBC world champion, 135 pounds. That's a fact. And until Teofimo Lopez has a fight at 135 pounds and until he beats Haney, until he beats Devin Haney, he is not the undisputed 135-pound champion. He is not the undisputed lightweight champion of the boxing world, and he never will be unless he fights Haney next. These guys got to fight each other next. It's got to happen. It is the asterisk. The name of that fight, the title of that fight, should be the asterisk. Ali and Foreman was the Rumble in the Jungle. Ali and Frazier 3 was the Thriller in Manila. It's time. It's time for the asterisk. Let's have that fight. Let's have Lopez and Haney. Supposedly they fought 2 or 3 times in the amateurs and it was fairly close. It's 1-1. It was fairly close a couple times. Whatever the case may be. It's time for these guys to fight as professionals. And what better opportunity to have all the belts on the line? That fight can happen early next year. It can happen January. It can happen February. And it can happen with fans. Tank Davis' next fight is going to take place with about 10,000 fans in attendance in Texas. If you take a look, I'm not a big NFL guy, but if you you take a look and you see the Cowboys playing or the Chiefs playing, they have about 10, 20,000 people in those 100,000 people stadiums. It can be done. These fights can be had with limited audience. And when I say limited, I mean 10 to 15,000 people. Texas Stadium, where the Cowboys play, that holds 100,000 people. 100,000. They can fit 10, 15, 20,000 in there and be at 1/5 capacity and be at somewhat safe social distance and have these fights with some gate revenue and some money. So the bottom line is this. Until Teofimo defeats Devin Haney, until he fights him, he's got to beat him. He's not the undisputed champion. Congratulations to him. He's Brooklyn's own. I'm from Brooklyn too. And I was rooting for Teofimo Lopez. I picked him to win. I picked him to win by knockout, but I picked him to win. But I'm not going to let that dictate my bias, and I'm not going to let the fact that I think Teofimo Lopez, that I like him, I think he's pretty cool. You know, I was rooting for him to win. I'm not going to let that dictate the fact, change the fact, and make lies come out of my mouth and tell you he's the undisputed champion. Because Teofimo Lopez is not the undisputed champion of the world. Look, I scored the fight for Teofimo Lopez 115-113. I gave him the first 6 rounds. I gave Teofimo the final round, and that was the decisive factor which won him the fight. I disagreed with Teofimo's father. In the post-fight press conference last night, he told the world that he felt the most accurate scorecard was 119-109. That's a lie. I felt that was the least accurate scorecard. Most accurate, 117-111. 116-112, 115-113. Those are acceptable scores. Either way, it was a close fight. I wouldn't have hated someone if they scored at 115-113 for Loma, not at all. Very close fight. But 119-109 either way, that judge needs to be fired. 119-109, you're not watching the right fight. Trash, flush it down the toilet. Crap, garbage, next. But I will congratulate Teofimo Lopez on becoming, at 23 years old, from Brooklyn, 23 years old, unified lightweight champion of the world. He's got 3 belts. He's got the Ring Magazine belt, and he's got a WBC French Fry. That's what he's got. Congratulations to him, not the undisputed champion, till you fight and beat Devin Haney. Until that time, Devin Haney is the asterisk, and that asterisk is what's holding you back from being called undisputed. Moving on. I'm going to talk about something here that's been on my mind for quite some time, and I wanted to make a video about this last week, and a friend of mine beat me to it, and I don't hate him for it, but it's about time that somebody did, and someone touched upon this, and it's the mismanagement of Deontay Wilder's career. Look, you don't even have to look as far back as to why didn't he fight Klitschko, or why didn't he unify with Charles Martin when Charles Martin became the IBF champion. I think he fought on the same card as Wilder when Charles Martin became the IBF champion. We're not even going to go there. We're not even going to go to why Wilder didn't go to the UK back in 2013 when he could have fought and probably knocked out Derek Chisora, and he would have actually got some attention from the UK fans, maybe some respect, maybe some fans of his own. But instead, the UK fans, they think, well, most of them think Wilder sucks. And Wilder hasn't fought anybody of any substance, really, outside of Luis Ortiz and Tyson Fury. Maybe Dominic Breazeale, maybe not. But regardless, we don't even have to go that far back. We can go from the point of Deontay Wilder having a draw with Tyson Fury. We can take it from there. We can take it from December 1st, 2018, after the Fury fight. Look, that was a cherry pick gone wrong. If it wasn't, they would have taken the Joshua fight. But they wanted to fight Fury because they felt he had some name recognition and he was coming off a 2-year cocaine binge where he wasn't boxing and he was 400 pounds. He fought 2 tuna cans and then he fought Deontay Wilder. His punch resistance wasn't where it needed to be. And regardless of those factors, Tyson Fury won every minute of that first fight against Deontay Wilder, with exception of the 2 times he was on the canvas. That fight was not a draw. They gifted Wilder a draw. He should have realized, wow, I just got out of Dodge. I still have my O intact. I have a draw, but I still don't have a loss, and I got my belt. He should have went and taken the money to fight Joshua. $100 million was offered to him to have a fight with Breazeale that he had anyway on Showtime. He fought Breazeale anyway. He would have made more money, and then he would have got $100 million guaranteed to fight Anthony Joshua on DAZN twice. It was a $100 million package. That's generational wealth. Instead, Deontay Wilder claimed the reason he didn't take that was because Al Heyman promised him generational wealth. And he got money for fighting Brazil on Showtime. Whatever money he received for fighting Brazil was not $100 million guaranteed. Yes, he got $35 million in the rematch with Fury. Wilder did get paid $35 million, but he got his ass whooped. He got embarrassed. He got killed. He got destroyed. He got beat up. But even before that, what did he do? After he had the draw with Tyson Fury, he decided to have a rematch. No, I'm sorry. He decided to fight Dominic Brazil, okay? Which he could have done on his own and made more money. For whatever reason, he took some money in a briefcase from the people there at the PBC, the people there at Showtime, actually. Directly from the people there at Showtime. It wasn't a PBC briefcase. They paid Wilder not to fight on DAZN and to fight his next fight on Showtime with Brazil. They paid him off, okay? Took the money, what did he do? He knocked Brazil out in the round. Then what did he do? Wilder's hardest fight of his career, before his first fight with Fury, was his fight with Luis Ortiz. So before having a rematch with Fury, you decided to have a rematch with the guy that gave you the toughest test of your career, Luis Ortiz. You decided to go in with that guy again when nobody asked for a rematch. Nobody asked for it. And you took more punishment. There wasn't a minute of that fight that Deontay Wilder was winning against Ortiz in the second fight until he knocked Luis Ortiz out. So he decides to take that fight, and I think he made somewhere in the vicinity of $7 million, something like that. Albeit it wasn't $100 million. He didn't make $100 million in this time. No, he didn't. Okay? He fought Ortiz again, took a lot of punishment, landed a right hand, and he got out of there. Then he went into the Fury fight, and he got his ass kicked. Got his belt taken, and what happened after that? Instead of pulling back the reins and saying, I need to reset my career, this guy dominated me in 2 fights, you opted, and your team opted, for the immediate third fight between you and Fury, Deontay Wilder. Fury Wilder 3, that's what Deontay Wilder went for. And what happened? You let the contract expire. You postponed the fight for COVID, you postponed the fight for some other reason, for whatever reason, Fury's ready to go. And you want to push it and push it off and push it off to get in front of a live audience or whatever the goal is of Al Heyman and Shelley Finkel and all your people and all your advisors, whatever your goal is. Well, you let the contract expire. So your team mismanaged you again. Shot the pooch. Shot yourself in the foot again. Screwed the pooch again. And end of the day, mismanagement has cost Deontay Wilder his career. Mismanagement has flushed your career down the toilet. You could have fought anyone else after you fought Brazil. You fought Luis Ortiz again, who beat you up a little bit, took something out of you, and then you fought Fury, who took everything out of you. And then you let the rematch expire when you could have had $100 million. $100 million. $100 million to fight Brazil like you did, and then to fight Joshua twice. And what happened when Joshua fought in the Garden? That could have been you. Well, that could have been Deontay Wilder. And what happened in that fight? Andy Ruiz knocked him out. So there is a chance that Deontay Wilder could have done something similar. Not saying it would have happened or it wouldn't have. But stylistically, Fury is bigger than Wilder. Wilder's a little taller than AJ. A little bit. So he may have not been fighting the same kind of uphill battle. Deontay Wilder never really fought someone who was physically much taller and stronger than him. He did that in Fury and he got his ass kicked twice. AJ would have been a different matchup. AJ also fights in a different style. It may have worked out better for Wilder. Factually, it definitely would have worked out better financially for Wilder. Okay? Factually, he would have made $100 million. And if he wins one of those fights against AJ and had become undisputed, what does that do for Deontay Wilder's legacy? It elevates it. Instead, what happened? You had a draw and you lost. And then you let the contract expire. Who do you fight next? Who does Deontay Wilder fight next, huh? You went from $35 million in a fight with Fury. What, are you going to take a step backwards and fight guys like Andy Ruiz? Or have a third fight with Luis Ortiz, who we know you love to fight, for $2 or $3 million? What are you going to fight, Adam Kalinowski? After he lost to the Nordic Nightmare? Really? You're going to fight him for $3 million in the Barclays Center? Look, it doesn't make a whole hell of a lot of sense. Deontay Wilder's career has been mismanaged from December 1st, 2018 to now. And at this current point, it's in the toilet. Might as well flush it, because it's gone. Deontay Wilder's days are done. Mismanagement has led to Deontay Wilder's career being finished. Until we meet again, dreamers in Dreamland, I'm the Dream. It's been a pleasure and an honor for you. I love each and every one of you, but not near equally. Till we meet again, dreamers in Dreamland. Peace.